Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Economic Recession and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this July 19th, 2020 weekend edition. Really briefly, I just want to come to you talking about two issues. The first issue is the PPP loan, the Paycheck Protection Program loans the funds are set to run out in August. And secondly, we're going to talk about the Federal Reserve and what they intend to do with interest rates heading into the middle of this third quarter of the year, and what we need to continue to do to prepare for what may be some upcoming events and more unrest in not only the financial world, but in the social world, in the social economic world. The cities and counties and states realize that the cavalry's not coming to save them out of this recovery, and that we're going to be going deeper and deeper into this sickness and into this economic depression that we're going to be facing here in the western half of the world. So this was an article that came out yesterday in usnews.com. Majority of PPP loan recipients will run out of funds in August. The Goldman Sachs survey found that 91% of small businesses support Congress allowing them to apply for a second sickness relief loan. So now that they've gotten the first PPP, and that's going to run out in August, 91% of small businesses now, they want another relief loan. And as you know, Congress has been on recess for the last 2.5 weeks, and they're supposed to be coming back sometime this week, either the 23rd or 24th of this week, to look at that before July 31st is the deadline that the $600 unemployment stimulus runs out. And so some people have been suggesting that they may not renew that. Okay, there's no guarantee of a second stimulus check. There's no guarantee of a second PPP loan extension for these small businesses. Just 16% said they will be able to continue paying employees past this month, past July 31st, okay? Additionally, the survey by Goldman Sachs found that 63% of small businesses report that less than 3/4 of their pre-sickness revenue has returned. Well, that's no surprise because we have this social distancing. So businesses like restaurants and bars can only operate at 50% capacity, and even with takeout, it's just impossible to survive because you need that operating revenue, that operating capital. And now as the sickness cases are on the rise again, you can expect, ladies and gentlemen, another shutdown coming within the next 2 months for a lot of these states. And that's going to make the economic situation even worse for small businesses, for individuals who are trying to survive this thing. The CARES Act supposedly provided more than $521 billion in loans to nearly 5 million small businesses. But we know that there was a lot of wasteful spending. A lot of money went to companies who did not need it, and a lot of companies refused to return that money that they did not need because they're saving for a rainy day too as well. And they know that that rainy day is here now. So that's what's going on with that. That's 100% truth. The House has already passed the $3 trillion aid bill, but of course the Senate and the Republicans, they have rejected that hefty price tag. Basically, my friends, we've spent all of the stimulus money this country is going to spend this year. And so that's why I say it's imperative that we stay prepared, that we get food, water, medicine, gold, silver, crypto, land, and real resources, because when all of the stimulus money runs out, which it sounds like it's coming to an end, probably by September, things are going to hit the fan, because all of the stimulus money will be spent, and all of the extensions will be granted, and that's it. So we've already spent $5 trillion on this whole sickness outbreak thing, and it's counting, because remember, they've given money away to various entities to do testing and all kind of other stuff too. So this money is not free. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and so we know that we're going to pay for it in higher taxes and lower wages and lower jobs for the Americans. Now, Bloomberg is reporting that the U.S. had set up these programs to offset, the hardship with the sickness, but now everything is about to expire. Okay, they approved more than $2 trillion of extra spending after the sickness hit the industries, right? But now it looks like it was supposed to target. The ironic thing was that it was supposed to target the unemployed and small businesses, right? All of this sickness business loans was supposed to target people like the unemployed and small businesses, but ironically, it's not reaching those people who really need help. In a lot of states such as Kentucky and in Georgia and New York and New Jersey, the unemployment benefits have not reached those people. They said they've been waiting for weeks to get just the first check. Okay. So what is happening is those programs are actually ended up, the money's being siphoned off the top to CEOs and other people because they know they're using it to buy back stock. Okay. Because they want to get their stock prices up so everybody can cash out in a golden parachute, while the regular workers, you and I and other people, are left holding the bag, and they're going to charge us higher taxes, property taxes, state taxes, federal taxes, city taxes, whatever. So what's going to happen is this crisis is only going to deepen. Okay. Now, according to Bloomberg, the deadline for the PPP loans, the second part of the PPP loans extension, only goes to August the 8th. Okay. So once that money runs out, that's it. That is it. That is the last bit of money that we have. And the same goes for the $600 lifeline that they're throwing out. So what's going to happen is all of this is going to come crashing at the same time, in addition to the housing crisis, which we're going to experience in the month of September. Okay, September is the big month because everything will be expired. We'll be moving in. Earnings season is going to be disappointing this third quarter. And now every economic expert is saying that this sickness is going to last much longer than what many people had anticipated. And I believe it's going to carry on through next year as well. And so because of which, the Federal Reserve, here's the point I want to make, the Federal Reserve, MarketWatch.com is saying the Federal Reserve isn't likely to take U.S. interest rates below zero. I think that's a bunch of crock. They are going to negative interest rates. But that's not going to be able to save this U.S. economy. We're going into a depression because it's been 100 years next year since we had a depression in 1929, okay? And it's just part of the natural business cycle, the ebb and flow of the natural business cycle. Other countries are already into negative interest rates in Europe and other countries, other central banks. And so over here, they're going to follow the exact same path. The Federal Reserve Bank is going to negative interest rates. And that will be probably starting in the fourth quarter of this year, the last quarter of this year, once they see how bad things are after the all-important election in November. So get prepared for that. Try to keep the minimum in the bank because of that, because you're not going to get any high yields savings or anything on your bonds. Nothing is on your treasuries because of the negative interest rates, which is going to be affecting everybody starting in the fourth quarter. And I would say probably they would do that probably sometime in October, mid-October, November. They're going to go to negative interest rates. So be prepared for that. Try to just keep nothing to pay your bills in the bank. But you want to take stuff out. You want to start keeping your money where you can hold it on it, because you're not going to get any yield off of any of these T-bonds, high yield savings accounts. All of that's going to be slaughtered because they're going to negative interest rates to try to save the stock market and to save whatever is left of the economy at that time. So the good news is, folks, we have time. We're prepared. We have time to prepare even now. But time is running out because we're getting deeper and deeper into this recession, which we all said is going to turn into a depression. And we only have about maybe 5 or 6 months left before things really get crazy and people understand that we're not coming out of this thing. And it's not just because of the sickness. It's because there's too much debt on the books and we have to reset the economy. And that's when people are really going to realize that there's no more limited food on the store shelves. Gas is going to go back up. And the credit is going to be dried up, and there's going to be multiple evictions from people of houses and apartments. And so that's what we have to look forward to. And that's why I say it's better to get prepared now. Try to save your money to buy. And if you do use your money, use it to buy supplies, survival supplies that you need, because you're not going to be able to get access to that stuff once they shut down, once the government shuts down these grocery stores, banks, supply stores, things in our daily life. And that's what's coming, because they're waiting. The states, each state is left up to themselves to decide whether people should wear a mask, mandatory or not. All of that's going to change once the federal government gets in and says we want a uniform policy for this sickness. Once they do that and they start curtailing people's movements, which they can do, and it can't happen here because Italy did it over in Italy. They shut down the country for a period, I think it was over 2 weeks or something. And so that's coming over here because this is the second wave. I didn't know we haven't even got over the first wave of the sickness, but somebody correct me down in the comments. But this is what's going on. So get prepared, continue to prepare. Do not rest on your laurels. $1 saved is $1 earned at your house. Start learning gardening, survival skills, and other things that you will need to make it through this next 6 months, which is about to get even more rockier as people realize that this recovery is just a sham, it's just a smoke screen, and we're going down. The ship is going down like the Titanic with the music playing, and it's just going to be horrible. But we can survive. We have help. Blessings to everyone this weekend. Have a great weekend. Get out, get some fresh air, and enjoy yourself as best you can. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.